Hey y'all, and welcome to Nadi House Tips. I am Nadia. Today we're going to talk about the undecided. The undecided meaning whether to purchase a house, a townhome, or a condo. So some things I considered when making my decision on buying a house was understanding my wants and my needs. So I knew what I wanted and I knew what I needed. So those are some things you have to consider. So for me, for an example, I knew I wanted a garage. That was very important to me. I knew I wanted high ceilings. I knew I wanted an open kitchen concept, and I knew I wanted a small yard. That was also very important to me. I knew I needed extra space. I needed extra space for parking for when people came over. I knew I needed at least two to three bedrooms. That was also important. So having a list of your wants, your needs, I would definitely start with that, just to help you make your decision. Once you have that down, your wants and your needs, I would go to the pros and cons of buying a house and the pros and cons of getting a townhome or a condo. So some pros and cons to consider is privacy. I would definitely say a house has more privacy, in my opinion, when it comes to your living space. You're not sharing a wall, you're not sharing your parking spot, your parking space, and those things like that, the things that you're not sharing. But the cons to buying a house would be you do have a higher upfront cost versus a townhome or a condo. So that's also something to consider. A house, yes, you do have more space. You have more space to maneuver around. You have more space for parking. I would also say for a house, you do have that ownership when it comes to buying a house, and you probably do have a higher equity and a higher resale value. You will be able to resell your house a little more quicker than probably a condo or a townhome. The only thing is, when it comes to a house, the upfront cost is a little bit more. And when it comes to a townhome or a condo, it may not be as much the upfront cost, but you have to consider that HOA fee. Sometimes the HOA fee can increase over time, and that's something I thought about. Like if you already have, your set mortgage, let's say for your townhouse, and then you have maybe a $300 or $400 HOA fee. And if that HOA fee increases over a course of a couple years, then it's going to be more. So that's something you also have to consider. Yes, there are some homes that have the HOA fee, but most of them don't, just depending on your location. So location really is key when it comes to that HOA fee. And then when I was looking for houses, I made sure the HOA fee was very minimal. It was really low. So that's something you can also look at when it comes to purchasing a house or a townhome. So I will say, a house, you do have to do all of your maintenance by yourself. So that's one of the give and take when it comes to the house or a townhouse or a condo. For a condo or a townhouse, you don't have to worry about your maintenance. You can just, pull up the phone or, call somebody and be like, hey, you need to fix this and that. But when you have your house, everything is on you. It's like, when you gonna fix this, or when you gonna get that money out to fix XYZ. So that's something to consider when you're purchasing a house or a townhome. And also like the outside maintenance, you have to take care of that too. So it just depends on what you want and like what you need at the time. You might not care about hiring somebody to maybe maintain your house, or you might do care and you're like, I'm not about to do that, and you get a condo or a townhouse. So that's just some things to consider. So far, I think owning a house is great. And I think for me, the biggest thing was ownership, having that ownership under my belt. Like, this is something that's mine. And then when it comes to reselling, like when it's that time to like leave, I think it's more value, in my opinion, to resell a house versus a townhome. Sometimes it can be hard to resell a condo or resell a townhome, and sometimes that value doesn't increase as much as a house. So that's something you should also think about when you're deciding on whether to get a condo or a townhouse. Is the resale value going to be great? And also look at your location. Location really does matter. Make sure, drive around the neighborhood, drive around the subdivision or wherever your place of living will be. Go there at night, see how it is at night. And I thought something else that was really important to me was safety. Do I feel safe in this neighborhood? Like, can I walk around this neighborhood and not feel threatened, like looking behind my back? So you want to make sure you feel safe, and those things that are definitely key in things when deciding to buy a house. So those are just some things to consider. If you want to know more, hit me up. Definitely please comment, tell me what you want to hear about. Whatever it is about the house, I can discuss more about that. Please subscribe. Definitely trying to put out more videos, but just tell me what y'all want to hear. So thanks again for tuning in. I am Nadia, and thank you for looking at Nadi House Tips.